With sisters like these, who needs enemies?
Unrepress that sibling trauma, because this episode of Josh and Kristie Stealing the Internet is all about sisterly love. So let's get into the first one.
Am I the asshole for not inviting my sister to my wedding because she always jokes about sleeping with my fiancé?
Jokes, huh?
Yeah.
Those quotes say probably more than the rest of the sentence altogether.
Okay, so I'm getting married in October. Small, chill, nothing crazy. Should be a happy time, right? Except my older sister, 31 female, has this thing where she constantly flirts with my fiancé, 29 male. Like, aggressively. And it's always under the guise of, oh my god, I'm just joking, don't be so sensitive. The first time she met him, deadass said, wow, you upgraded. I'd let him ruin my life too. In front of me. I laughed it off because I didn't want to seem insecure, but like, WTF. Then she started with the, if you ever get bored of her, you know who to call. Comments. Again, in front of me. I told her it was weird and she rolled her eyes and said I'm too uptight.
I'm just joking, unless I'm not. But no, I'm joking. But if you're serious about it, though.
She's made so many lil jabs. I saw him shirtless once. Damn, girl, you got lucky. If you die first, I call dibs. Too bad you got to him first, LOL. Like, it never ends.
Wow, okay.
My fiancé thinks it's awkward, but tries to ignore it. He's not flirtatious back, but he also doesn't really shut it down either. Red flag on the fiancé. Shut that down.
I mean, to a certain extent, maybe you should be shutting it down.
Yeah, it's your sister. Get her under control.
Yeah, fiancé might just be trying not to fight with your family.
But he also doesn't really shut it down either, just gets uncomfortable and laughs nervously. Last weekend was the last straw. We were at my parents' house and I left to grab something from my car. Came back and heard her saying, and I swear I'm not making this up, I mean, if you're having second thoughts, I'm always available. Just kidding. Unless...
It's okay.
You were right with the...
Yeah.
with the... I'm just kidding. Unless you... But I'm just kidding. But
Yeah, you gotta throw out the unless. Otherwise, it doesn't count as fishing.
Like, the unless was real. That's not a joke anymore. That's a goddamn come on. I snapped, told her she's disgusting and can't come to the wedding. She flipped, cried, told my mom I was being dramatic. Now the whole family's saying I'm ruining the family over a joke, and she's just always been flirty and doesn't mean anything by it.
Okay, no, I think family needs to tell her to calm down.
I don't even care if she meant it or not anymore. I just don't want that energy around me when I'm trying to get married. But now it's this whole thing, and I'm apparently the villain for excluding her and making it bigger deal than it is. Am I the asshole for uninviting her, or is this actually insane? Because at this point, I feel like I'm losing it.
No, you're clearly not the asshole. There's a line where it's not joking.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a very far away line.
And she has crossed that many times.
She crossed it a while ago. And I feel like once your sibling is like, hey, stop flirting with him, you stop flirting with him.
Top comment, not inviting her is the best thing you can do. She's the type, in my opinion, that will try to outshine you on your big day. I guess she's your sister, but damn, I would never do that to any of my sisters. That's so disrespectful.
Imagine what her wedding speech would sound like.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I mean, definitely don't make her a bridesmaid or maid of honor, because then she gets to give a speech, and that would be terrible.
I mean, she's just family. Sometimes they just wander up to the mic.
Can you imagine the sister taking a turn dancing with the groom? It wouldn't be pretty.
Oh, if they have a dollar dance?
Yeah. Yeah, she'd be all up on that groom, and that's awkward, and I don't want to see that at my wedding.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to throw hands at your own wedding.
For sure. Plus, she'd get hammered and be handsy and sit on his lap or some shit, and then blame it on the alcohol. That does seem like something she would do.
Yeah.
NTA, why would you ever make comments like this about someone's significant other, especially in private to him with you not around? Instead of admitting her wrong, she continues to gaslight you into believing you're insecure/overreacting. Ultimately, it's your wedding, and if she can't respect you and your boundaries, then she doesn't have to be there.
Yeah, it's not fun girl talk when the guy's around, right?
Yeah, like the, damn, you like upgraded girl. Don't say that in front of him.
No.
Because then that's like a come on onto him instead of like girl talk between sisters.
Yeah.
Still, that's weird. I don't think I would ever tell my sister that I thought that their significant other was hot.
No, probably not. But I still feel like you could be like, well, he's an upgrade. It's about the tone you say it in.
Yeah.
I think her tone is a little hungry.
A little.
A little.
NTA, your sister is making a play for your fiancé and would like nothing more than to bust up your relationship so that she could have him. There is nothing wrong with you setting strong boundaries, and your parents need to have a come-to-Jesus talk with your sister about her behavior and stop enabling her.
That girl needs Jesus. Yeah, this seems like weird behavior for family to enable.
Am I the asshole for getting my sister arrested after she destroyed my clothes?
I mean, I'm gonna assume she forced your hand.
So I, 24 female, live with my younger sister, 21 female, while we both save up for our own places. It's been mostly fine, but lately she's been acting super jealous and petty over the dumbest stuff, especially my clothes. I work a decent job and I like fashion. I save up and occasionally treat myself to nice things. Think Zara, Abercrombie, nothing outrageous, but definitely stuff she doesn't buy herself. She constantly borrows my clothes without asking. I've asked her to stop multiple times, even put a lock on my closet door, which she broke.
Oh, damn, she broke the lock on your closet door? It's crazy enough you had to add a lock.
Yeah, and then crazy enough that she broke that lock. Last week was the final straw. I came home from work and found a pile of my clothes, my favorite leather jacket, some designer jeans, a silk dress I wore once, all shredded and slashed up on the floor, like someone went full slasher movie on them. My heart dropped. I asked her what happened, and she just smirked and said, "Maybe now you'll stop acting like you're better than everyone else."
Wow. That's not the direction I expected this story to go.
I completely lost it. I called the police and filed a report. She thought I was bluffing until the cops actually showed up. I showed them the damage, the receipts for the clothes, I keep most of them for returns or resale, and the broken closet lock. She was arrested for property damage.
Jesus.
Now my parents are freaking out, saying I took it too far and that she's just a kid, and family shouldn't call the cops on each other. But I've had enough. This wasn't an accident or a dumb prank. This was straight up malicious. So, am I the asshole for pressing charges against my own sister?
She's not just a kid. She's 21, and you're 24. You're not that far apart in age. She is plenty old enough to know not to break a lock and slash up somebody's clothes. That's like a threat. Like, if you came home and found your clothes just slashed up on the floor, it seems like a message, like, you're next.
Yeah, like I'd be fearing for my safety a little bit.
Yeah, your sister is a little unhinged there. Parents need to be mad at sister.
The parents being like, family shouldn't call the cops on each other. Yeah, family shouldn't slash up each other's property either.
Yeah. I didn't expect it to go so far. I thought it was going to be like, she won't stop borrowing my clothing, and then she just keeps it in her closet now. No, that's not where this story went.
I don't think the police would get involved for this, but
No.
This sounds like several hundreds of dollars worth of property damage.
Yeah, with malicious intent.
Mm-hmm.
Not even just airbrained intent. I want a little more info. I want to know if your parents are also mad at her.
Yeah.
Because they can be a little mad at you for being like, hey, you went to the police, possibly before you went to your parents.
Yeah, like try and have your parents mediate, maybe.
I know you're both in your 20s and adults.
Mm-hmm.
I still feel like as a man in his late 30s and my sister in her early 40s, I might still tattle on her.
Mom!
Yeah.
She's being mean!
Before I went to the police, I feel like my sister and I would just tattle on each other first. And then mom and dad would still have to be the mediators.
And sort out the family drama.
Yes.
Now, I do feel like your sister wasn't going to take you seriously unless you did call the police. But now that you've called the police and she's been arrested, I might be like, hey, I will drop the charges if you pay for everything you destroyed so that it doesn't go on her permanent record.
And she's going to have to move out.
Yeah. Yeah, that too. I don't trust her to, yeah. But I might drop the charges with conditions just so it doesn't go on her permanent record and, like, ruin future job opportunities or anything.
I think that is a perfectly fair thing to say.
I would at least give her the chance for that to happen.
Yeah, I need to be, you reimburse me, give her the chance. You are still sisters.
Mm-hmm. Even though your sister is a psycho.
Even if she's a psycho. I think whether or not she pays for it instead of going to, like, court over it is going to tell you how much of a psycho she is.
Reddit obviously thinks she is not the asshole, but they really want the parents to get involved. Top comment, NTA. Tell your parents to get effed. Your sister is a malicious, vindictive, entitled, and destructive adult who is now suffering the consequences of her actions. And while you're at it, tell them to take her in now. She should no longer live with you. I wouldn't be able to trust someone living in my house who would do that. Tell them to get that psycho into therapy.
Yeah, sounds like parents need to step in.
Tell your parents they can pay for replacing them, and then you'll drop the charges. Then get that psycho into therapy. Yeah, everybody wants, to get that sister into therapy.
But yeah, I mean, even Reddit's like, yeah, let your parents break up this sisterly spat.
Mm-hmm.
I like your idea a lot of giving her that ultimatum of, like, reimburse me for the clothing you destroyed and I'll drop the charges.
Yeah, some of them are just saying just sue her, though. NTA, she is not a kid. You should sue her for the cost of the clothes. Because, yeah, even though she was arrested for property damage, I don't think you get reimbursed for that.
No, you have to take her to civil court as well. But I think unless she acted insane when she got arrested, I think most police offices would be like, it's a family squabble, we'll let you drop the charges.
Yeah. But yeah, she is not just a kid. She's 21, she's an adult, she should know better. Would I be the asshole for canceling my sister's wedding because it was my wedding first?
I'm not sure I fully understand how this works, but no. I'm going to say it sounds like she somehow managed to steal a wedding. So go ahead and cancel it.
I was meant to be getting married soon, on mine and my ex-fiance's anniversary. We ended the engagement recently because he cheated on me. The wedding was initially planned with just my money, but was very low-key, and my parents asked if they could put up some additional money to make the whole thing a bit bigger. By the end, about 60% of the wedding was paid for by me and 40% my parents' contribution. My ex and I had agreed that I would pay for the wedding while he covered the honeymoon. My ex left me to deal with canceling the wedding as his money wasn't involved, and I turned to my mother and sister for help because I didn't have the mental or emotional capacity to call vendors and venues and whatever else and cancel everything.
I think it's perfectly fair to have mom and sister help with cancellation. I mean, I expect them to help with making the arrangements. So, if anything, they should do most of it.
My sister is engaged and helped me with a lot of the wedding planning. Next thing I know, my mother and sister are asking me if I wouldn't mind my sister just taking my wedding. Every part of it, from the venue to the cake and everything in between. The sole difference will be the wedding dress. And even then, she said if she can't buy off the rack, she might have to get mine tailored to fit her instead. I called off my engagement less than 3 weeks ago. I am a fucking mess. I reached out to my family to help me cancel the wedding, and my sister is planning to take it over instead. My sister has rung around our family explaining that she's taking over before she told me this. They are all attending. Her fiancé has contacted his family and given them the date that he will be getting married. I found all this out today. She asked me if I was okay with this, like she hadn't already arranged everything. I told her to go fuck herself. I have a few more days to cancel things and get the money back, but there's a couple of things where I won't get the money back at this stage, but over 2/3 of it is still refundable. The money will be refunded to the card it was paid by, so both me and my parents will get the correct amounts back. As I've not been in contact with these companies and it's my name on the contracts, I have full power over this wedding. My sister said she'd pay me back eventually, but knowing her, I'll never see that money again. Would I be the asshole if I rung around everything and canceled? There's an update, but give me your opinions first.
Okay, that last little bit really locked it in where you said sister might not pay you back.
Yeah. Like sister just expects you to fund her wedding. That used to be yours, but your fiancé cheated on you and so you broke up.
Yeah, I was trying to give sister the benefit of the doubt and be like, she called around, realized you can't get like 1/3 of your wedding deposit back, is like, talk to her fiancé and is like, hey, we could move our date up. Save my sister from some money.
No, she wants to cost you a bunch of money.
It sounds like it. It sounds like she just really liked your plans and decided this is mine now.
She's like, it's just so convenient. I don't have to do any of the work or pay for it. It's already all planned.
Yeah. Like, there is a version of this where I think sister is being very altruistic. And I don't think this is it.
She would have had to come and talk to sister and been like, are you okay with this? It will save you money. If you aren't okay with it, though,
That would have been step one. Talk to sister and been like, hey, you spent like $20,000 on this. I can pay you that.
Yeah.
And then you don't lose $6,000.
This is not that.
This is not that. No. It sounds like sister just really liked your wedding and decided she was going to grab it. So no, you're not the asshole. On the plus side, you must be good at planning weddings if she wants it so bad.
Top comment, NTA, WTF is wrong with them? I kind of understand the logic, but for fuck's sake, there's a way to do this without being a total asshole to you. Depending on your relationship with them, I don't know what your course of action should be, but you would be totally justified, based purely on how insensitive they were about this whole mess.
Yeah, I agree on that. I think you're completely justified to cancel things just because they kind of just grabbed it.
Seriously, I assume the only reason would be if everything was completely non-refundable and they'd be out tens of thousands of dollars. This, to make her sit through essentially her own wedding, hijacked only weeks after her engagement was destroyed, and when most costs can still be recouped, is just utterly heartless.
Yeah, I wonder how close the wedding is, because I want to know, like, what vendors aren't refundable after a certain point. Just out of curiosity there.
Well, most of you at least lose your deposit, but not the full payment.
I think our venue had a clause that, like, hey, if we can rebook, we won't fine you the deposit.
Yeah.
So if it's far out, they can usually rebook.
I think it's just a few weeks away.
Oh, it was that close?
It's weeks away, yes.
Then impressive that they can even get groom's family to agree to attend.
Okay, on to the update. I talked to my sister and explained how upset I was and how hurt this made me feel, and she said that this was a good thing and it would be therapeutic for me to see good come from bad. I said that this really is not what it's feeling like on my end, and to me it feels like I got cheated on a month before my wedding and my sister said she would cancel everything for me and then decided that getting married in my dress in the venue my ex and I picked out together on my anniversary date, and this did not feel good.
Yeah, I agree on that. I forgot it was your anniversary date too. No, a month out that wound is still fresh.
Mm-hmm. I said if she wanted to buy the wedding off of me, then I needed payment in full for my 60% by the 23rd, and I wanted to switch out our names on the contracts. She said she was hoping for closer to a payment plan where she paid me back 50% of the 60% I put down in monthly installments over the next 10 months. So she's not even planning on paying the full amount. She wants to pay 50% of the 60% that you paid.
It sounds like she's like, well, you're not going to get this money back anyways, so I might as well just pay you the money that you were going to get back.
She wanted to pay me back 5% per month for 10 months, and I still wouldn't get all my money back.
That's nuts.
I've made calls and canceled everything. Everything was paid for by me, and my parents' money paid primarily for upgrades to the things I'd already bought. The money will be refunded to whoever paid for it, so myself and my parents will get all the correct money back. However, with some, like the caterer, we've lost the deposit entirely. With some, like the venue, they kept part of the money, average 50%, but some kept more and some kept less. And with some, like the baker who was a family friend and hadn't even started on the cake yet, they completely refunded it.
Sorry, that's one of those things about where weddings are such a scam.
Mm-hmm.
I know that makes me sound jaded. The caterer not giving you your money back, I bet there's also a clause was non-negotiable that you can't just have the food.
Yeah.
That was our caterer, had this stupid clause that was like, you can't just take the chicken.
If you cancel, you still have to pay this amount, but you don't get anything.
Yeah. It's such a stupid clause. No, wedding caterers are amongst the worst in the wedding leeches. I don't know how else to describe them.
I mean, I understand that it might be hard to rebook on short notice, so you're losing out on money.
Oh.
But, like, if I'm paying you, I paid for the food. Give me the food.
Yeah, that's the part I was trying to say. It's like, yeah, I paid for that food. Give me a freezer full of chicken. Also, your sister's way of telling you that something good was going to come from such a terrible event. Like
bullshit.
Yeah, such bullshit. It's... No, from the ashes of your relationship, I will rise like a beautiful phoenix.
And you should be so happy for me that this is happening for me.
Yes, look upon my glowing visage and be healed.
Look at what happy bride I am. This could have been you, but I'm so much prettier than you. Just be so happy for me. Anyways, I think the fact that I was open that the wedding was off because he cheated made them feel bad for me and probably made a few of them more lenient on refunds. I didn't bring it up just for the sake of it. Most of them asked if I wanted to reschedule, and I did not.
Yeah.
On the whole, I've made a little over half back, which is not as much as I thought. The really annoying thing is that I put these cancellations through on the 21st, and if I'd done it on the 18th, 2 full weeks notice, I'd have gotten more. But they waited until the 20th to tell me.
That sucks.
So we are less than 2 weeks out from the wedding now, and sister suddenly sprung this on her like, hey, I'm stealing it.
Yeah. Once again, if she would have just offered to pay the full amount, could be altruistic. But no, there's not an altruistic bone in this sister's body, it sounds like.
The dates are now open, the plans are now there. If she wants to rebook everything in her name, she is welcome to. She helped me with a lot of the planning, knows the details better than I do, and she can easily rebook the exact same things and will probably be doing the vendors a favor, considering how close we are to the big day.
Maybe she can get a discount.
But not as big of a discount as just not paying her sister back.
Oh yeah, just not paying is a bigger discount, I suppose.
Some refunds will be instant, some will take a bit time longer, longest is 2 weeks, and I'm no longer going on my honeymoon, so once all the refunds have come through, I might book a week away somewhere. Not sure what's happening with my sister, mother, family at large. In total, I would have gotten more back from my sister than I would have from the venues, but it would have been a year waiting on her to repay me versus a few weeks on the venues. Currently drafting a Facebook post to tell the family what happened without me looking like a total bitch. I have a feeling they've already guessed what went on, but this is the only way to make sure.
Yeah, sister is nuts to think that she could have gotten away with that without talking to you. That's the big thing, is just to talk.
So not only was she trying to steal her sister's wedding, but OP says she wants me to be her maid of honor, so I'll be standing up in front in the dress that was meant for her, while she stands a few feet away in the dress that was meant for me. That's messed up.
Sounds so painful. The fact that it's so close. I don't know. I can see a situation where it's okay, but it starts with a conversation.
Info. Does your sister hate you? Is she trying to be hurtful?
Sounds like it.
NTA, your family is horrible for not clearing it with you first. Your wedding fell apart due to your ex cheating on you, and everyone's first thought was to let your sister take your wedding without taking your feelings into account? Dog, that's beyond effed up. You do you. Sorry about your situation.
Yeah, sorry, dog.
OP responded, when asked what they were thinking, my sister actually said to me, it's not like he died. Like cheating was the reason they chose to do this.
Dying would be better.
Yeah, honestly, it doesn't come with that betrayal.
I bet OP would rather he died. Especially after he did it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Cheating bastard. I do like that one of the comments was, oh, thank God. For a second, I thought we were going to discover the sister was marrying the ex. I think I've been on the subreddit too long.
Right? I think I thought that for a bit, too.
Am I the asshole for kicking my sister out of my house for telling my husband he's so lucky to be rich?
I'm gonna assume she did not say that gracefully, because that is a very hard sentence to say with any amount of grace.
My husband lost both his parents when he was 17. Their deaths were preventable, and others died alongside them, and because of this, a lawsuit followed, and at a young age, my husband found himself orphaned but wealthy. But I think we can all understand that this money wasn't some great thing that he celebrated because it came with a huge loss for him, his parents. We met a few years after he was awarded the money, and we got married after dating for 4 years. We're now the proud parents to our 3 kids, and we have a stable life. We're very comfortable, and few know exactly how much my husband actually has. He's very smart with his money and not only invests, but looks to our future and the future of each of one of our children. We both still work very hard, but the money means we are also very fortunate. My family, parents and sister, are aware that my husband's parents are dead. They also know about the lawsuit and that money was paid to the family members. They have no idea how much my husband has. Not my parents and definitely not my sister. But they know and were told how he'd give it all away just to have his parents back. Which is why I reacted strongly when my sister made the comment she did. We had my family over for dinner. My sister mentioned wanting to bring her boyfriend for any future dinners, and everyone was talking about that. Then my sister mentioned wanting to go away with her boyfriend for the weekend, and how they were saving up to go. She said it was a big step because they were also talking about moving in with each other. My husband mentioned we had gone to the place they were talking about going to, and they'd have a great time. She said she hoped so, but she wouldn't have the same kind of money he does. He told her we did nothing fancy there, which is 100% true. My parents wanted to know when they were thinking of moving in together. Things were going fine. Then my sister, out of nowhere, said to my husband the least he could do was offer them the money for the weekend away, since he could afford it.
What an out-of-left-field statement.
I shut her down and said she wasn't entitled to other people paying for her trips with her boyfriend. My sister responded that he could afford to send them for a month if he wanted to. My husband told her that was a big ask, and she snapped at him and said he had no idea how lucky he was to be rich, because she'd give anything to have that kind of money.
Okay, your parents are sitting right there.
I know, right? Like, jeez. The insensitivity of the comment enraged me, and I told my sister she needed to leave. I made sure to get her ass out of that door too, because I wasn't tolerating that BS. My sister has told me almost every day since that I overreacted and throwing her out was over the top. I told her I don't want to hear anything but a sincere apology from her to my husband, and until that point she can stay out of my house. My husband said I didn't need to stand by that and he didn't want to come between us. I told him he wasn't coming between us, she was. Am I the asshole for my actions, and am I being too harsh here? I just think that comment was downright cruel and vicious when you consider my husband had to be orphaned to get that money.
I don't think it's extreme to ask somebody to apologize before they're welcome back.
Yeah.
That's just courtesy.
Yeah, and like she obviously said something hurtful.
Yeah.
Apologize. But what really gets me is the sister's extreme entitlement of...
Somebody else should pay for my vacation?
Yes.
Yeah, no. Lots of people have more money than you. You don't walk up to them and say, hey, why aren't you paying for my stuff?
And it's not even like it's her sibling. It's her brother-in-law's money.
No, this is like... You keep a good relationship and maybe they'll pay for your honeymoon or something. Like
maybe they get you really nice Christmas presents and a really nice honeymoon present.
They might.
Or wedding present.
They might, but they're not really entitled to it.
Yeah, but it's more likely to happen if you're not an asshole to them.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta be nice to them. Just because they're your sibling, not because they have money. Yeah, and it's a weekend away with your boyfriend who's not even invited to family dinner yet.
Yeah.
This is a pretty new boyfriend.
They're thinking of moving in together, though.
Yeah.
But still, he hasn't met the family. Why would brother-in-law fund your vacation with this guy he doesn't know?
Right.
Why would he fund your vacation at all? But especially with some guy he doesn't know. NTA. Must be nice being rich. Yeah, it must be nice having loving parents that care about you and are there for you. Someone replied, not if those parents can't fund your month-long vacation with a boyfriend you haven't even moved in with yet.
Yeah. What are those parents doing? Lazy. Lazy parents.
I'd have responded, you're actually saying you'd trade your parents' lives just for that money and then never invite her to any family gathering ever again because it clearly doesn't mean anything to her if she's willing to sell them out for a quick buck. I'm like, why aren't your parents more upset about this? I would be extremely offended.
Yeah.
If someone said they wished I was dead so they could be rich.
It's from that context, it sure sounds like she said that. The other thing is your sister doesn't even know how much of the money is left.
Yeah, she doesn't know how much he got, how much he spent. She just sees that they are living more nicely than she is.
Uh-huh.
At a higher level, like they have more money than she does and she's jealous.
Yeah, they both still work.
Yeah.
Like, they can't be that crazy wealthy if they're both still working. I mean, maybe they just enjoy working, but still. No, that's just not how you behave, especially with family. I would say having to apologize is getting off lightly.
It's like the minimum of what needs to be done.
That's your sister still likes you, so you're just getting a slap on the wrist. Just accept it.
Pregnant wife's sister offered to sleep with me.
Okay, say no.
My wife, 24 female, and I, 24 male, have been together for 3 years and married for about 6 months now. We found out that we're going to be parents and we are both very excited. We told our families over the weekend and everyone was happy for us. This morning, I got a text from my wife's sister, 21 female, saying that she knows that women can get emotionally and physically abusive and can put a stop to intimacy during pregnancy, and that she is willing to help me out anytime sexually or emotionally during and after the pregnancy.
She sent this in text?
She's leaving evidence behind. Damn.
Also, it's not emotionally and physically abusive when a pregnant woman is too, nauseous to have sex.
Yeah. Like, there are good reasons that, intimacy may stop during pregnancy.
Yeah. The fact that she's pregnant.
And as a loving husband, I mean, it doesn't always, but there are sometimes it might happen.
Yeah.
And as a loving husband, you need to support your wife while she is carrying your child.
Yeah, don't go sleeping with her sister, which OP very much seems like he's not into it, so good for him.
Obviously, I have no interest in anyone other than my wife, but how do I tell her what her sister offered? My wife has always been there for her sister, and they have always been super close. Her sister was the maid of honor at our wedding. I don't want my wife to lose that bond, and it would destroy her if she found out that her sister was willing to betray her like that. At the same time, her sister is a snake and is willing to ruin our marriage and the life of her soon-to-be nephew/niece for what I'm guessing is a childish crush on me. My first priority is my wife and unborn child, and anyone else can go to hell. How do I approach this situation? There is literally no good outcome. I can tell my wife tonight, and she will be absolutely devastated. I will always be there for her, and I know her parents will be on her side, but losing a 20-year bond with her own sibling, while in such a vulnerable state, sounds terrible. How can I possibly tell my wife that the sister she loved and looked after for so many years wanted to sleep with her husband while she was pregnant? If I don't tell her soon and tell her later, she may lose her trust in me. If I don't tell her at all, my wife will be close with someone who clearly does not care for her and could easily betray her again in the future. So it seems like he's looking for advice.
Your only option here is to rip that Band-Aid off, show your phone to your wife, and be like, what's up with this weird-ass text your sister sent? Say nothing else. Just leave it all up to her interpretation. Yeah, you don't need to add any thoughts, I feel. I think the safe option is just be like, what's up with this weird text? Hand it to your wife, because there's dates on that text, so don't stall.
Oh yeah, don't stall.
Yeah, don't stall. That text is dated, so she knows exactly how long you waited. And then she's either going to be like, well, that's just my weird sister, or it's going to, well, the shit has hit the fan, it's just where it's going to land now.
Yep.
The conspiracy part of me is like, did wife set?
Is wife testing you?
Yeah.
Sorry, dude, you have to tell your wife tonight. Otherwise, sister-in-law is going to twist it and try and make it look like this was your idea.
Yep, you need to be on top of this.
Show your wife the text. It's proof that your wife's sister was hitting on you, not the other way around. It will also show your wife that you are not hiding anything and not attempting to hide anything. I don't think you can avoid hurting your wife at all in this situation, but you can at least minimize any hurt by being open with her. And if she asks why you didn't show her sister-in-law's text as soon as you read it, tell her the truth about that too. You didn't know how to handle it, and you didn't want the situation to hurt or worry her.
Yep, that's a great way to do it. The important thing is just not to add any fuel to the fire when you show her.
Let her draw her own conclusions about what a sneaky snake her sister is on her own.
Yep.
NTA, but this is a very simple solution. Rip the Band-Aid off, tell your wife. Your wife's sister betrayed you, your wife, your marriage, and her family the second she tried to inject that toxicity into your relationship. This type of person is the same kind of manipulative excrement that will turn around and say that she was testing your loyalty to her sister if you give her any warning at all that you might tell your wife. Don't give her any opportunity to manipulate, tell your wife the truth before she has a chance to twist facts and destroy your marriage. Your wife's devastation will pale in comparison to pussyfooting around the situation in a way that calls your loyalty into question. Sister needs to be dealt with swiftly and decisively now. She did the FA part, and now she needs the FO part. Better now than later.
Yeah, I firmly agree with that. Rip that Band-Aid off. Don't try to discuss it with sister first. Just hand it to your wife. It's her family. I know she's pregnant, but you kind of, in a marriage, you let each partner deal with their own family. Yeah. And this kind of falls under that category.
Someone agrees with you, saying just show her the text and preface it with like, hey, I don't know why your sister sent me this, but I'm not okay with it, even if she's joking or drunk. Yeah. You deal with it now.
Yeah. Don't add fuel. Don't try to play it off as a funny. Just hand it to your wife. I don't know
what's going on, but I got this text and I don't like it.
Yep, that would be my full sentence. I'd just be like, what's up with this weird text here?
My cynical ass was like, wife put sister up to this as a test because she's feeling scared.
I thought the same thing, because I have been listening to far too many Reddit stories lately.
But hey, maybe it's just a devious little sister trying to get back at her big sister for some shit that happened in middle school or something. What do I know?
Yeah. You kissed Bobby on the playground, and you knew I liked Bobby.
So now I'm gonna try and steal your husband. Am I the asshole for refusing to attend my sister's wedding after what she did to my fiancé? A lot of these stories involve weddings. They really do bring out the worst in people, especially sisters.
Yeah, it's a stressful time. But no, sounds like she did something crappy to your fiancé, so screw that bitch.
So my 28 female sister, Ella, 31 female, is getting married in 2 weeks. We've always been close, even though we have our differences. I've always been more of a laid-back, introverted person, while Ella is the life of the party and loves being the center of attention. It never bothered me much, until now. I've been engaged to my fiancé, Mark, 29 male, for about a year. He's wonderful, kind, supportive, and just an all-around great guy. My family has always liked him, or so I thought, but about a month ago, something happened that made me question everything. Ella asked Mark to meet her for coffee one day, saying she needed help picking out a wedding gift for me. I didn't think much of it at the time, but when Mark came home, he was really quiet. After some coaxing, he finally told me what happened. Apparently, Ella spent the entire time trying to convince him that I wasn't right for him. She told him I was too boring and that I wasn't ambitious enough and that he could do better. She even went so far as to suggest that he could call off the engagement and see other people. Mark was completely blindsided and upset. He said he defended me, but it was clear that Ella was relentless.
Okay, so this sister's not trying to steal him for herself.
No, she's getting married in 2 weeks. She just doesn't think that her sister is good enough for this guy.
Okay. Wow.
Really doesn't like her sister, I guess.
I guess not, because usually you're like, I'm so glad you found such a good guy.
Yeah, or telling your sister, hey, you can do better. You can get a better guy because you are awesome.
Yeah, usually whatever the judgment is, you're basing it off your sister as the normal level, right? Like,
Yeah, but normally you're on your sister's side.
Yeah.
And she is not in this case, it doesn't sound like. I was furious when I found out. I confronted Ella and she didn't even deny it. She said she was just looking out for Mark and that she wants the best for him.
Wow.
That's what you're supposed to do for your sister. You're supposed to look out for your sister and want the best for her.
It sounds like Mark is the best for you. By your sister's own opinion.
Yeah, maybe the sister wants Mark as her sister. When I asked her why she thought it was her place to interfere in our relationship, she just shrugged and said that she was being honest. I told her that what she did was completely out of line and hurtful, not just to me, but to Mark as well. She didn't apologize. Instead, she doubled down, saying that if I was confident in my relationship, I wouldn't be so upset. Okay, so now she's gaslighting you.
Yeah, right? I know, you can be upset and confident in your relationship.
I ended up leaving her house in tears. Since then, I've barely spoken to her. My parents found out about the situation, and while they agree that what Ella did was wrong, they're begging me to still attend her wedding. They think that missing it would cause a huge rift in the family and that I should just let it go for the sake of peace. Did Ella not already cause a huge rift in your family by trying to break up your engagement?
Ella absolutely caused a huge rift already.
Why are they blaming you for causing a rift by not going to the wedding when Ella already just totally destroyed your relationship as sisters?
Because there's no reasoning with Ella.
But I don't know if I can. Every time I think about what she did, it makes my blood boil. I feel betrayed and hurt, and I don't know if I can just pretend everything is fine for her big day. Mark supports whatever decision I make, but I can tell he's hurt by this too. So, am I the asshole for refusing to go to my sister's wedding after what she did to my fiancé?
I mean, you're not the asshole if that's your decision. I do have to say maybe you could fight it out before the wedding with her.
I don't know. I feel like Ella has let her feelings for you shine out for the first time in her life.
Yeah.
And they are not good feelings, and I might just cut her off. She's just being honest. She gave her honest opinion of you, and it is not good.
Yeah, that's true. You did confront her, and she's like, I'm just keeping it real.
She was unrepentant.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want that kind of toxicity in my life. I just might distance myself.
No.
Starting with not going to her wedding.
Sure sounds like Ella's out to burn a bridge here, doesn't it?
Okay, so we thought Ella's getting married in 2 weeks. It's not. She's trying to break them up so she can get with Mark. But Reddit disagrees.
I mean, I just assumed she'd be a little more blatant about it if she was trying to get with Mark.
I was like, her wedding's in 2 weeks. I think it's a little late to be trying to get with Mark.
Well, she's got wedding jitters, So she's like, Mark's better. But I don't know. I just feel like, well, I don't know. Maybe she was fishing. I don't know.
But comments. Tell your parents that if you go, you will object to the wedding as it's clear that Ella has feelings for Mark and the wedding is a sham. By do better, she meant herself.
I mean, that was also my initial thought. By do better, she means herself. She just didn't have any follow-up. So I guess I was trying to give her a little benefit of a doubt that she wasn't also a man-stealer as well as a backstabber.
Reddit does not give people the benefit of the doubt. Ever.
Reddit assumes that you have killed someone.
Reddit thinks your sister is a narcissistic cheater, basically shitty person. So no benefit of the doubt there.
No. She is a shitty person. I'll give her that.
NTA, she might be getting married to someone else, but she clearly has feelings for Mark. OP's sister is marrying a man she doesn't love. OP should look out for this guy and let him know what his fiancé tried to do and why. She should definitely have coffee with him and let him know he can do better. OP's sister would understand, right?
I kind of love that.
I do.
That's kind of the perfect revenge. If Ella is this committed to burning the bridge, you might as well light a fire on your end too.
I don't know, like, it's fighting petty with petty. Sometimes I'm like, well, you're just escalating the situation. And sometimes I'm like, yes, do it.
Yeah. Kind of puts things into perspective, huh? I guess after listening to all these stories, your sister doesn't seem so bad.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Josh and Kristie Stealing the Internet. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.